Hello everybody and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today we're going to be going on a very special nostalgic tour of my old Let's Play world, Xisuma's world. This is it right here. I haven't opened this thing for over 2 years. 2 years and 3 months. Almost to the day actually. And yeah, it has been such a long time. There are probably lots of things in this world that I've forgotten about. But let's do this. We're going to do a tour. I mentioned this in my Hermitcraft Let's Play that I wanted to do that. So let's log in and tour around the old world. Now we're in 1.8 and this is 1.2, so I'm expecting some things to go wrong like that. I'm trying to jump here and I can't. I can sort of move forward a little bit. That's strange. Do you know what? This tour we're probably going to be doing in creative mode, so a little tip for you, if you want to go into creative mode, in fact let's just try that right now because I'm pretty sure it's not going to let me. There you go, can't go into creative mode. So if you go to open to LAN, allow cheats on, and start a LAN world, then you'll be able to do that, which is pretty cool. But if any people are playing Minecraft on your local area network, then they'll be able to join the world too. Yeah, so where are we right now? We're in Xisuma's world, obviously, but this is the old spider farm, and what a fitting place to start actually, because this is I think the first project we started, maybe in the first season or the second season, but it was a big project when we started it, and it was one that I had a lot of time and a lot of fun with. And yeah, these spider farms, we don't really see these anymore because at Enderman farms they kind of replaced them. This was the best way of getting XP back in the day. So let's fire this thing up and see if it still works. Behind here we got spider spawners. If I crouch down you might be able to see them. There's the bottom of it. And oh, that was silly, wasn't it? I'm in creative mode, so let's just repair that quickly. In fact, I think I might switch back in case I do this more often. I tend to click a lot when I play the game. So let's go to game mode 0. And also, what have we got in my inventory? You'll see here I do have a diamond pick with fortune, and back then the game was a little tougher to play, and I don't think I was as well equipped and rich as I am now on Hermitcraft. You can see I'm using iron tools and iron armour. But let's hit the switch and see if this thing still works. And shouldn't there be... Oh, okay, so that switch does both of those. This switch activates the crusher, I remember that. In fact, I think it does all three. Let's just turn that back on. Yep, there's a third one down there. So this is a triple spider spawner. And I am so curious to see if this thing still works. Now, at the moment, that block there is extended, which is stopping the spiders from getting in. And I've got a feeling they won't be able to group up. Let's see what happens. More and more of them are going to keep coming in, because somewhere around here is just outside the escape zone of the spawner down there. So what we did with this farm, by the way, is try loads and loads of different things, and eventually we got it like this, where the water streams would flow down, and then you'd have them connect with these ones that kind of funnel them into the middle, and they'd all get pushed to this central point. Now, if they're going to group up or not, I do not know. One thing you used to do is just hit them to group them up, and they seem to be able to hit me really easily, which isn't good. But they're grouping up, look at that. It still works. And it looks like the spiders are coming from down there as well. I'm a little surprised at that, because you can see the water stream here is quite different, and some of the spiders are getting caught in it. That never used to happen, but of course the game has changed so much since this world. We've got a big old slime down there. Right, let's hit that switch. And we're going to crush the spiders all the way down to one punch kill. And notice that the block below has been extended, so all of the ones here will be one punch kill. And this is how we used to get XP. And once you killed all the spiders here, you could just stand on the side here, collect all the items and XP, and then you were done. I've done a lot of enchanting over here. In fact, I'm pretty sure there's a little enchanting room somewhere around here. Do you know what? It is great to know that that still works. It's really awesome. And the design of this room, by the way, you know, I've never really been too much of a builder. I'm more of a technical guy. But I really like the colours blue, white and orange. And so with the jack-o'-lanterns and the white and the blue here, you can see I've kind of gone for that. If we go up here, this is where I used to do some enchanting. A lot of things in this world are going to be like this, you know, little rooms in stone, because back then the game was a lot more tedious and difficult to play. I think this would have been around 1. So this would have been back when Minecraft 1.0 would have come out, and things were a lot more tedious then, and that's why you see little derpy rooms like this, because we couldn't really turn everything into a project. But at the same time, this world didn't really have the longest of lifespans. It was just one short season and one slightly longer one. I think 33 episodes in total is what I did in this world, and this is a sight to see. Yes, the wall with the signs. Let's go into creative mode for a second here, because I don't want that slime to annoy me. Yeah, I kind of explained our project through these signs pointing into different things, what we needed in our redstone, and this is it over here, I think. and it's not really that glamorous or compact. But let me explain what it does. It controls the crusher up the top here. So when you hit this switch, it is going to activate the crusher on a timer, and then when you hit it again, it's going to pull it back. But what it did the first time you hit it is it also extended the... Well, I think I just did that totally wrong. Let's try it again. So it's going to activate the crusher, it's going to extend the piston underneath, and then the crusher is going to retract, and that piston stays there until you hit that. And that is how it works, which is really cool. So this little thing right here, this is actually from the slime farm. It'd be so cool if there was some slime spawning. In fact, to show you, I can actually do that, which is really cool. We grab this, and how do we get down to the slime farm? Do you know what? Looking around here, I'm just getting so many memories. There is a room up the top here once where I think we first built the crusher for the spiders. We had a little potion set up in here. As I'm going around, I'm just going to see so many little corridors and little bits and bobs that remind me of things that are happening in the world. Because I still remember this place ever so well. I have a good memory for locations and moving around. Ah, yes, that little farm. I remember that. Okay, so how do we get down to the slime farm? It's somewhere down below us, and I think you can kind of get there, because I haven't really hooked everything up with pathways just yet. I think you can get there by going around these mine shafts somewhere. This looks like a dead end, doesn't it? Maybe down here. This looks like it. Okay, so you go down then to the left. The next left. Yes, I found it. Ha! Okay, so the slime farm is down here. This is where I also wanted to set up a branch mine. So the slime farm's just over there. We've got this little room here, and I really like this. This was a cool little project. I love putting the tree down the bottom here. And what were in these dispensers? These dispensers were for something. I think we used to have potions because, yeah, around the back here we've got these little brewing stands, and we used to have these little farms to help you get the things you need to brew as well. So if we press that, yay, the redstone still works. That's really pleasing. And then this one, you get your reeds. You know, not the most compact, automated, or efficient farms, but back then it was just about making a nice room and having a cool little project to do. If we press this button, that should do the wheat farm. I think this runs on a timer, so it gets just enough for all the items to go down, and then the water retracts. No, maybe I never did that. Maybe it just does just work like that. So over on this side, another reed farm and a pumpkin farm. It's such a cool project. Anyway, let's go and take a look at the slime farm. This thing, I can't remember how many episodes we spent over here, but I know I put hours and hours into this. And let me give you a demonstration of how it works. The slimes will spawn on the mycelium down here, and it's lit up so that, you know, other hostile mobs can't spawn on here as well. And then what they're going to do, and I've just realised something. This place used to be plagued by the void fog, and we don't have the void fog anymore, which is awesome. So yeah, they'll just go in their random directions, jump off the edge, and end up in the water streams, which will transport them all the way over to this lava grinder over here. So as they go through, the big ones will get split into the smaller ones, and then they will get split into the even smaller ones, and then they go through this little system right here, where they get broken up, they fall down below, and get pushed onto a ladder, which they still climb. And it is amazing to think that these things still work. I cannot believe it sometimes. It's really cool. And then around the outside you can see that I kind of decorated the area. I remember that taking a long time. And when you see things like this, just remember this was back when we didn't have instant mine. We only just got enchanting, and some things were still really tedious to do in the game. Oh, there we go. We're up here again. And yeah, the slimes come up to the top here, and they drop down. And it's so cool. You can use it as like an XP farm. Just hit them and get a whole bunch of XP. Very cool stuff. So, I'm wondering where to go next. We've seen the spider farm, we've seen the slime farm, and the branch mine bit. And I'm not too sure if there's really much else to see in this area. But what I'm going to do is just think for a second. I kind of remember my way out of here. Do you go down? And then turn to the right somewhere? You go up these steps. Oh, let's just fly for a second. Yeah, to the left down here. And then to the right again, and we should see something familiar. There's that spawn. If we go straight down here, there should be a path that leads all the way up to the surface and goes through a ravine. I am remembering this. It's all coming back to me. And that's the path right there. It's got water flowing down it, which isn't good. And yep, there's this big space down here that I cleared out to find out if slimes were spawning in it, and they were. And, oh, okay, I know what's down there. I'm not going to talk about that just yet, actually. We're going to go look at that in a second. That was a very ambitious project, which I never really actually got into. I started a lot of projects in this world, and here's the ravine, by the way, that I talked about, with the water falling down it Very cool ravine. Right, and when we go up to the surface here, we are going to see our old tree farm. I think that might have been the first thing I ever built in this world. Oh, it's good to see. Good to see this place. Over there, off in the distance, if you look at the right of the screen, you'll see the front of Atlantis. That is going to be the last place on our tour, of course. That was the pride and joy of Xisuma's world. So this thing over here, this very strange looking thing, it was actually part of my treehouse project. And the problem here was I wanted to make this enormous tree, and then I found out as I was building it that I kind of took the wrong approach. I made it very cylindrical, wasn't really much of a natural builder, and so as I built it and tried my best, taking people's advice to get this thing looking natural, it just became more of an obstacle than it was something fun to do. And so because of that, we never really finished this project off. But it was crazy. It really was. Look at the amount of wood we've used on this. So let's go and have a quick look at the tree farm. The tree farm is one of the things that I really like that I came up with in Minecraft, just because I hadn't seen it anywhere, and it's kind of obvious, but maybe you don't always think of it. But when you grow trees in rows above water like this and you chop them down, the saplings can just go down into the water, and then you can collect them automatically. So down the bottom here there is a little collection area, and so any of the drops that you got from this would make their way into there eventually. Obviously this thing was a little bit flawed. The drops can land on the dirt and they can also land on the glass as well. I don't know why I didn't stack signs for that. That would have been a lot better. But it was really just about having a fun project to do. It doesn't always have to be the most efficient thing ever. And then building all of this up here, I missed that. That was a really fun project to do. Oh, and down here would be my starting area. Yeah, somewhere down here I had a load of chests. I can't remember if I ever finished moving all of the things from them, but I did have a little storage area. Ah, look, this is what the dispenser's for. There's so many of these around the world. It's because I used to top them up with speed potions, and this is before we had hoppers and we could have like a chest to fill them up. But whenever I needed one, I'd just hit the button, drink that, and off I'd go. Oh, look at that, some strange gold boots there. I don't know where I got those from. Some lapis. Interesting to see. Yes, this is the little storage room right here. Got tons of brewing stands, not quite sure why. Let's see what's in the chests. Wow. This was before we had iron farms. And I had a lot of diamonds. That's a lot of diamonds. That is really good to see. I certainly did my mining on this world. Some coal ore. Lots of coal there. Loads of junk items. More junk items and random stuff. Lots of rails as well. Would have crafted all of those, I think. Or maybe got them from the mine shafts, actually. So some slime balls, plenty of redstone, lots of wool. Wow, I'm just reminded of how much time I actually invested into this world. I really did enjoy it. Okay, and we've got more chests in this room. We've got to have a look. You know what it's like. You just want to see what you had. Yep, all the spider eyes from the slime farm, all of the string. I said slime farm, I meant the spider XP farm, of course. Very cool stuff. Very cool indeed. And this is back when mushrooms used to just kind of spread around everywhere. And then back here we used to, and I'm in creative mode again, making a mistake there. We used to have like some strange chicken farm with like a water chamber. I can barely describe that. So, through there is an epic project, but actually we're going to go back up to the top and have a look on the hill, because there is a project over here that we're going to talk about. Oh wow, and flying is so fast because of the sprint that they added. That's really cool. So this thing is a chicken farm. And what I love about Minecraft is sometimes things are ever so simple. You've seen how simple things are today. I guess hoppers kind of help that. But when you start things out, things are usually big, and especially with redstone, you compact your circuits down. The same thing goes for farms as well. Look at the size of this thing, just for a chicken farm. And I can honestly barely remember how this thing works, so I reckon we should try and figure it out. At the top I would have guessed that would have been full of eggs, so if we hit this button, shouldn't that activate some sort of rapid fire? That's been turned off. I'm pretty sure something is bugged out here. Look, this should be turning on and off. That's the only thing that's powering it, is the redstone torch down below, so I'm pretty sure that's to activate this, which should be full of eggs. So let's use the search. That's much easier to get items that way. And oh, let's just launch them down here like we're a dispenser. Oh no, I pushed him out. Oh, and I've done it again. This might have been before there were baby chickens. Do you know what? Let's type in chicken, and get ourselves a chicken egg. There we go. That's the way. Okay, so I do believe it's in the cook mode at the moment. So if we hit a switch back here, is it that one? Aha, okay, right. So what happens is the chickens dispense through this thing. So you put your eggs in there, the chickens hang out in the middle of the water, and then they lay eggs. And the eggs are going to fall through, come down to the bottom here, and they're going to hit these pressure plates. So before we had hoppers, we would have these redstone torches on the sides. If we kill the chickens, or at least get them to buzz off for a moment, you saw it turned off. Look, I'll just remove the pressure plates. That's the easiest way of doing it. They'll be off. So when you're over there doing your thing and you look over and you see that the torches are on, that means some of your eggs are up here. You can come over and pick them up. And then when you switch into the other mode, what it's going to do is change the water streams, drop the chickens down there, and then send them down to a cooker, which is down below. This thing is just ridiculous, isn't it? I think there's a way. Here you go, there's a ladder. We can get down here. And, oh, I really don't remember this. This is an old design with the trapdoors. I cannot quite remember how it works. But yeah, there's some sort of chicken cooker or just a way to kill them down the bottom there, which is cool. And it is really over the top, that farm. So I'm just looking around the area, and we never really spread out or did anything anywhere else. In fact, I don't think there's even anything in the Nether or the End to see. That is something I must remember to do. Actually, there is a couple of things in the Nether to see, but nothing of interest. Anyway, the treehouse. Let's go and have a look at this. It is crazy. So that's where our Nether portal is. We've got a little bit of a pumpkin farm. This thing itself was really about building it, you know, and the main thing that I wanted to show you, I'm actually going to be able to see from out the back here, is what's around it. If you have a look down there, you can see that there's the roots of the tree and there's glass above it. That was actually a really cool thing. It doesn't look too great, but it was pretty good considering I started off with this massive hollow cylinder and then we had to change things after. But that was a huge project, you know, putting down all the glass and clearing out all of the space below it. And so if we go down, I can't really remember what my plans were exactly, but I do believe I wanted to kind of put some farms and different things in these areas. So you can see from down here, the view is pretty spectacular as well. Tons of torches everywhere, which doesn't look too great. And yeah, down here leads into a caving system. I can kind of remember it. It feels like it was just yesterday I was here working on this project. It really is fantastic. And over here we have a food source. It is a mushroom above a dispenser. There will be a bowl in there, so you can just stand on there. The bowl will be put into your hands. Then you can right click to eat, and if you hold it in front of the mushroom, it's going to refill it. And that was sent to us by his subscriber, whose name I really should remember. It's one of those names that stuck with me for a long time, but as of this moment I can't remember who it was who suggested that. But that was a feature of this world. We have mushrooms and those little refill stands everywhere. So I kind of feel like actually the next thing I want to do is go into the Nether before we head down below. And look, more of those speed potions. Right, so let's get me a flint and steel. Does that have a hotkey to open that tab? That would be nice if it did. And let's light this thing and go through. It should all still work, hopefully. Yep, that's right, this thing is in a Nether fortress. And there's another portal right there for some reason. So there isn't really too much to see in the Nether now that I think about it. But what you can see is up the top here I have my little Nether water farm outpost. Never did anything special with that. But what I did do is spend a really long time working on a derpy project with the zombie pigmen. In fact, that was a really awesome episode. Over here, this thing was just crazy. What I wanted to do is stand up the top here and shoot my bow at the pigmen, get them angry, get them to run towards me. They'd fall into the space down below, and if I was standing in the middle, they would all kind of crowd this area, and then I could just hit the switch and crush them all. And it kind of worked, but since then we've seen some lot more effective and efficient designs. And so that's pretty much the only thing that I did in the Nether. However, I do remember exploring in the opposite direction of the Nether fortress. So what I think I should do right now is actually just double check that there isn't anything over there. Where's the way we came from? I have kind of lost track of where to go. So I'm pretty sure that was all there was to see of the Nether. Couldn't really remember doing anything else in there, but let's go down here because this was another crazy ambitious project. Look at that. The idea here was to have a massive tunnel to connect this area over to Atlantis, and looking back on it, I had a lot of ambition, but this really was over the top for back then. I mean, we had to clear out an enormous space and we ran into some horrible technical difficulties. But the idea was to have boats that went in different directions. So you could use the boat to travel along in this direction and you would go quite fast compared to other forms of travel back then. You'd have the same thing on the other side. But then down below, we used to have this cheeky thing with pistons. And I've noticed that the pistons aren't here, which makes me think that either I removed them a long time ago, or when it got fixed, I don't know, for some reason it removed the pistons out of the world. But you'd have a boat and a load of pistons and slabs, and then you'd power it and it'd kind of do something crazy and just send you off into the distance really fast. And so that was going to go underneath. And this is the design that I had made for the whole thing. Thought it looked pretty cool. But the problem that I ran into as I started to clear out the area in front of me, and remember, no instant mine, is that there's so much lava around here that loads of the wood gets set on fire. And so I did my best trying to clear that out, and it didn't work, and a lot of this kept burning down over and over again. And I thought, well, we've got a long distance to go. Do I really want to do that? No. And so that project kind of came to an end. But if we go up the top here, there should be a pathway. This is it right here. I remember like it was yesterday. So we're going to whiz all the way down here and check out Atlantis, which is one of my favourite projects. I think it's the only one of all the things that I've done in Minecraft that has been like a, I don't know, like a part of a base or a thing that has gone all the way to the end and have multiple projects inside of it, if that even makes sense. Okay, we're here at Atlantis. I think the best way to first see this place would be from out the front here. Look at that. It is a strange form of building. Some people think it looks like a toilet, like you got the toilet lid down the bottom here. I think that's funny. But down there we have a wheat farm. At the top here we have just this space that I decided that we were going to put loads of glass in and just, yeah, create this kind of underwater structure. Now, if I remember correctly, I think the line of the shore kind of came all the way through the front area here. Maybe even down the sides a bit, and I had to dig all of this out. Can't quite remember, but it was a crazy project. Obviously all the sand that I was digging out in this area was going into the sandstone to build it. We had the boat dock at the front. Let's see if that still works. Grab ourselves a boat. Very unlikely this does. And we're also in creative mode, which means we won't see if we take damage. So let's just go back into game mode 0. So you used to come along over to this place like this, and one of the problems was your boat would usually break, and it breaks. Okay, now we know. So what I did here is I created these pressure plates that would detect when the boat came through, and then you'd hit this water and you would land on the water there. You saw that the stairs came down on either side to put some water in the middle. Now when you wanted to leave this place, and this is something that still might work, let's just grab in there, you press this button and it opens the, there you go, so water comes from behind you. Well, that doesn't work. It also pushes you underwater, which isn't great. This is all the redstone for it. And how do we get out of here? There we go. So yeah, the water here would come from behind you, and then the fence gates would open, you would flow up through the water stream, go up the top, and you would come out, yeah, you'd come out over here and drop out, and then you could leave the place, which is pretty cool. I just remembered that I was doing a project around here. I think this might have been a mob spawner, or possibly, actually you can see there's mycelium all the way down at the bottom there. That was the light for the slime farm. I think there was another project I was doing over here, but let's not worry about that. Let's focus on Atlantis. Oh, this place is cool. So if you didn't want to use the boat dock, you could just park your boat over here and walk down into the front like this. Then out the back what we have is just this area where I'm digging away all of the sand, so whenever I needed that I'd come out here. And then I decided I'd also make a nice pattern on the ground, which I still think looks really cool. Very simple, straightforward, but nice use of the sandstone next to the different wood colours. And then these bridges over the top here, they were going to lead somewhere, but I can never remember what it was I was going to do in the future. And I guess you could say that was like an unfinished part of Atlantis as well, but everything else here is finished. So if we go down here, there is the path to the way to get here, and then that comes back up on this side, and then that connects with the boat dock area. So you can go in here to get down into the redstone area. So same thing on the other side, and then down there to get to the animal breeding area, which we will of course get to in a moment. And over here we have the mushroom stand. This was dedicated to a donator back in the day. I don't do donations anymore because I now get to do this as a job, but back then people used to support me and, you know, send me a little money to help me buy equipment and do the things to do this full time. And so what I would do is dedicate things to them in my world, and this is Marcus Yerk's mushroom over on this side. I say mushroom every time, and as I'm saying it, I'm thinking, say mushroom, mushroom. There's another dispenser for the speed potions. So this is all symmetrical. On this side, you can go down to the animal breeding area as well. But down here, this path, it actually leads to a storage area, which I really, really love. We go down here. This looks cool, even now. Even with all the new materials we got, this still looks good. I love it. Look at that. The lapis in the middle is a nice touch. So these chests, they might be full of items, you know. Some stone in that one. It looks like I was working from the top down, so we'll open the top on each side. There we go, some cobble over here, some gravel there, some dirt. Okay, so not many materials in this area, we've gathered that. Lots of cobblestone here, look at that. Tons of it. But as you make your way around this area, there's now a stairway down into the bottom bit. And I love this, I love the contrast from all the wood up the top here with a little bit of stone. Nice kind of bold look, and then you go down and then it gets a lot more grey down the bottom here. It's really cool, I do like it. Oh, look at that, lots of items in there. It's good to see all the old items. Kind of reminds you of all the work you put into this place. Christ, look at this. It's ridiculous. Before Instant Mine, remember. And I know a little secret actually around here. If it's still there, we're gonna destroy some blocks here. There should be a secret passageway somewhere back here. Maybe I filled it all in. It's just somewhere back here, I'm sure of it. There you go. There's our secret passageway, I remember that. And it leads over to the sheep farm, which we will have a look at in a moment. This is the back of it right there. Anyway, let's head out back to the top of Atlantis, because we want to see those animal breeding machines. That was how I kind of got known in the Minecraft community. Back when animal breeding came in, I started working with DocM, sharing ideas, and built tons and tons of animal breeding machines, kept revising them and making them better. And this was like the ultimate one back then, I guess. Now things are so much simpler. We used to use minecarts and holding cells, and I have no idea if this is going to work. And I think before we actually have a go on the breeding machine, what we'll do is take a little bit of a break, because my voice is starting to get a little bit strained. So I've been recording for 30 minutes, no wonder my voice is getting a little strained. I have to calm myself down a little bit here. Anyway, let's go through here. Love the sandstone, really nice material to build with, but this is awesome. The sugarcane on either side with the water behind it. What a lovely looking feature that is. I remember spending a lot of time on camera building that, and it was totally worth it because it looks awesome. So down the bottom here, and oh wow, look at that. I have forgotten how amazing this place looks. Oh yeah, this was the very last episode on Xisuma's World that we did. I built the sheep farm, I put a ridiculous amount of time and effort into this and made like a 40-minute episode. And it was so cool. We got all of these sheep farms around the outside, so let me walk you through how this works. You hit the switch, and the water is going to push all of the sheep to the front, so it makes it very easy for you to shear them. And then the water will also push their drops into the water streams down the front, and then they go all the way down the bottom there. Which, on hindsight, wasn't the best of things. You know, once you were shearing the sheep, you had to head all the way down into the area down there, and there's only 1, 2, 3 and 4 little areas to get down the bottom. But we had, you know, one cell for each different colour of sheep, which looks awesome. You can see I've colour coded them around the room. This was such a great project. And then down the middle here we have this big space, and so I thought let's just build a lovely little oasis down here. And look, we have another one of these, also dedicated to a donator. Those are so cool, those things. And then up on this side we have a other little room around the back here. I don't think I ever used this too much. Use some jungle wood in this one, which looks really nice. There you go, we've got some farms, we've got some reed farms here as well, and some brewing stands. And this is probably because I used to, you know, brew speed potions a lot and just use those to get around. And so that's this little area down here. I don't think there's anything else to it. Let's head back up to the top and take a look at the other area. Okay, so we can also head down, and it's night time now. This place looks fantastic at night. Do you know what? This is really unique. Coming back here is really giving me some inspiration and made me realise that a lot of the building and stuff that I have been doing is not quite like I used to do on Xisuma's World. I don't know if that means it's better or worse, but it's just different, and I like this old style. This old style was very cool. So, this thing right here, when we breed the animals, they're going to come around the side. So let's grab ourselves a mushroom egg. Is that it? Yeah, there we go. And just spawn them in like this. So on this side over here, what you've got is a shearing station. Can't help but feel that was important for something. You'd click that, but for what reason? Oh, there's a bud switch back there. That was the way you activated it. And that probably doesn't work anymore. Okay, so I think what's supposed to be happening here is there's supposed to be this block extended, which I can't middle click on because I'm holding the wrong thing. There we go. No, maybe that wasn't it. I'm going to break some blocks here. I know that's wrong, but I'm really not sure what's going on. Where does this go then? Goes all the way down here. Oh, I'm never going to figure out what this does now. No, let's go back up top. Okay, so something was going on here. Maybe some of you can remember it. I think it had something with pushing blocks up from down below. Oh, do you know what? I really want to know what it does. Well, I'm not sure, but this seems to be a double piston extender. And you used to open that for a particular reason. It was to activate the bud switch because there was a gap here. Yes, that's what I'm forgetting. There was a gap here like that. So they would go down and then they would push back up again. And I think it was to give you the items, but that doesn't make sense because you'd shear the mushrooms would fall into the water, and then they'd land on that block. Maybe that one was controlled by a piston as well. Oh, look at that, it was. Okay, so that one pushed the block over, so all of the items would go on here, and then they'd come back up to the surface. Anyway, that's what it did. It delivered you the items. It'd be nice to show you that in action. I opened the one over here, and that guy's fallen in. So then these would be cows when they come around the corner. And you hit that to let them round. They go up, and then they drop back down in the middle here, and then you can kill them with lava. And I think that might have been before dispensers dispensed lava, so we used like pistons to retract the block and let the lava flow out. Let's see what happens actually. They get set on fire, they get pushed back up, and now they should burn to their death and give us some cooked steak. Awesome. Yep, so that was this little area down here. Then you would go behind this, you'd have a view over the wheat farm. There's some storage areas here. Look at that, loads of items again. Really have forgotten. Wooden slabs now look strange. Really have forgotten just how much time was spent in this world. Awesome. So yeah, you got a nice view over the wheat farm. This is symmetrical on the other side, by the way. Then that goes to the redstone. Down here we've got a little area for, I don't know, doing things. Stuff and things. And then you can go down into the wheat farm, and then the paths on either side I do believe just lead underneath, where there's loads of redstone and pistons, and I'm not even going to try and explain all of it. I'm just going to show you what it does. Let's go up the top here and hit the switch, and the water will come down from all the different places and get every single piece of wheat in here, leading all the way down to the front, and then you can just stand here and collect it. And all of this was for something as well, but I can't remember what. And that is awesome. That was a great project as well. Ah, awesome. Good stuff. Okay. Let's head back up to the surface and have a look at the animal breeding machines. And then we've kind of looked at everything, you know, everything there is to see in the world, because it wasn't here for that long. Now this is going to fail. I know it is. I know how this works. Let's grab some wheat. I think that's what we use to breed them. Let's hit the button. We can... Oh, that's send back, and this one is bring out. So we can bring out the mushrooms. Oh, it's pigs on this side. That's right. And then we can breed the pigs, but we're in the latest snapshot, so we're going to need some... Is it carrots for that, or potatoes? Let's try it with the carrots, and think that's the one. I always seem to forget. Okay, maybe it is potatoes. Try. Oh no, it works. I've got my particles turned off. Okay, you saw the little guy go down there. Then we click send back. And you know what? It looks like it still works. Well, there's a pig missing over there. Let's try it on the other side, and then we'll talk about the cells a little bit. So we can bring them out. Ah, it didn't work on this side. That sucks. Let's try it one more time. Okay, let's go back to this one. Maybe this thing is slightly different overall. Let's just kind of look at it from the side. I think this might be a different design, which is why it still works. Let's bring the piggies out. Okay, there's not one there, obviously. And then if we press it again, it should send these guys back. Bring out another one so you can breed them. I missed this. It's too easy now. It's too easy. Look. There we go, little baby drops down. Ah, he nudged the minecart down there and broke that. I guess it is broken then. And yeah, that's the animal breeding machine. So, what happened here is we had cells that held the cows or whatever it is in them in the minecarts. And then when they'd log out, they wouldn't be in the minecart, and when you'd log back in, they would be in the same space. So as soon as the minecart moved, they get picked up. So you had a track extend from the side, it would get powered and it would send them over the top, they'd drop into the cell in front of them. But the way you would activate this is from the front first. So these ones would come out, then the one behind it would get activated, and they'd move into the one in front, while these guys were sitting in the front here. So it would be like a chain reaction, and it would mean the ones at the end here would then be empty. So they'd come down to the front, they'd land on those fence gates, you could breed them, the cow would appear in the middle and it would get sent down below. Then you could just activate the redstone, which would power the fence gates, drop them down below and send them into the one at the back. So when you press this button, it would activate everything all at once. So if you had some at the front here, they get sent to the back and the new ones will come out. And when you hit this one, it will just do the ones at the front to send them into the back. And that is the way that the old animal breeding machines worked, and they were just absolutely amazing. I think what I like about them is just that they were so, like, you know, pieces of machinery. And it reminds me of how some things, I don't know, I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but I'm sure you know what I mean. Like, you used to have big machines to do something, whatever it is, and now you've just got like a computer. You press a button on it, it does the same thing that these old machines used to do. And that's what's happened with animal breeding. Now you just got this little tube that they stand in, you breed them, and it used to be like this. And I've got to say, it was awesome building these machines. But that pretty much concludes our tour of Xisuma's world. And I think I'm going to put the world up for download, because I never did that before, or at least I found a link where I thought I did and it had gone to a invalid link. So if you want to download this world and play it for yourself, I will upload the one before I started playing on this, so you will start out balked out in that block like I did, but I have pretty much shown you everything there is to see. There are like a couple of other sites and things that we did around the place, but that is all of it right there. That really is. And I'm just trying to think of anything else to say, anything else I missed, but I don't think there is. So, you know, thank you for all your support over the years. This was 2 years ago, and I've now been playing Minecraft for 2 years as a job, which is just really crazy. You know how crazy that is. I can't believe it. It's ridiculous. So thank you all ever so much. And if you enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button. It will always be appreciated. You guys know how much I appreciate your support. And that is it for this nostalgic tour. I kind of want to stay in the world and keep talking, but we've seen everything there is to see, so we're going to have to wrap things up. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.